Last night I was in bed, scrolling through YouTube Shorts, and I saw this video that about blew my balls off. I don't know how I hadn't heard of this story before, but it was pretty insane to me.
Epstein is?
Yes.
How do you know about him?
Because he's your dad. You showed me a picture.
Yo, watch your mouth.
Now, I'd never seen or heard of that before about them being connected to Epstein, the Island Boys, these musical geniuses.
I'm just trying to make it. And I'm an island boy. I'ma keep it like an island boy. I'ma keep it like an island boy. I'ma keep it like it's wild. Boy, you better really keep that gun. I'ma keep it like I'm up in the sun. I've been really at your food gazing. I'm like, boy, what you really saying? I told him I would pull up like a super saiyan. I'm trying to be outdoors.
But apparently, the story's like a few years old. So I obviously I had to go down the rabbit hole. So here it says the Island Boys are based in Coral Springs, Florida, which is near Palm Beach. They gained fame through their viral TikTok video in 2021. Here, I asked about Jeffrey Epstein and living in Palm Beach. Now, here it says Jeffrey Epstein lived in Palm Beach, Florida, where he owned a mansion at 358 El Brillo Way. That's the one that was near, I'm sure, Howard Lutnick and Donald Trump, and down near Mar-a-Lago and all that. One of the first things I did was look up just the Island Boys as kids, like trying to find pictures of them or something. And the first thing that came up here was literally images of the Island Boys as children are fake. They were created using artificial intelligence. The Island Boys, Frankie and Alex Venegas, have denied any connection to the late Jeffrey Epstein, who was depicted in the viral photos with the boys. The twins have stated that they never left their home state of Florida until they were 18 years old, and the island in the photo is not in Florida but in the Caribbean. Either way, it doesn't matter whether or not they left Florida or not, considering that Epstein lived in Palm Beach, Florida, and they are from Coral Springs, which is not that far from Palm Beach, Florida. And then also here it said the photo wasn't in Florida but in the Caribbean. So I was like, am I retarded? Let me look. Was Epstein's island in the Caribbean? So his island, Little St. James, was in the U.S. Virgin Islands. And down here, the U.S. Virgin Islands are a group of Caribbean islands and its islets. I know the Island Boys are retarded, so that could explain for their lack of geographical knowledge. I'm not the best at geography either. But if they didn't run across him in Palm Beach, Florida, and they saw him on an island in the Caribbean, I mean, I don't know. It would make sense for it to be Epstein Island. Um, I mean, I don't know. And in the video, you also saw where the chick that I guess was dating old dude, um, half of the Island Boys, um, said something about them or Jeffrey Epstein being their dad, and that isn't too fetched when you consider all the research and connections he was having to scientists and researchers. Um, Here, Jeffrey Epstein hoped to seed human race with his DNA. That was something that came out with Epstein files. He had a lot of connections with different people at Harvard. Um, Epstein paid for novel genetic testing. Epstein couldn't stop emailing people about eugenics. Epstein reportedly hoped to develop super race of humans, seeded human race with his DNA by impregnating 20 women at a time. When you take all that stuff into consideration, it's not too far-fetched to think that the Island Boys could actually be the offspring of the late great Jeffrey Epstein. So just another rabbit hole to look down, but I saw that video last night and I thought it was pretty interesting, so thought I'd touch on it a little bit here today.